Awesome. Thank you, Dave, for being on the show. We really appreciate this.
I'm really excited to be here after all this whole trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I stumbled across your work, years ago, but I was really interested in the work that you've done with urine therapy. And I know that you've done some interviews on urine therapy, and I'm curious, it's kind of a weird subject. Mm-hmm. Most people are averse to it. Have you been doing any urine therapy on this trip yourself?
Yeah, I do it every day.
Do you?
I mean, I've been doing it every day, pretty much every day for the last 6 years.
And I saw that you fasted on your own urine for some time. How long did you fast for?
I did a 30-day urine fast.
Oh my goodness.
Which, no food or water. It was just urine. I tried looping everything that I produced, but I ended up, I was going like every 15 minutes, so I had to cut back a bit. But yeah, it was just urine.
So they say that as you continue to cycle the urine through your body, you pee more often, right?
You do, and it gets clearer and clearer.
Okay.
It does change. It's weird because your body's adjusting all the time, so it kind of changes its taste and it kind of varies. So you just have to, it doesn't follow any kind of pattern. Your body's, a dynamic system. So, all these things, change as you go along. It's just very strange because I was actually healing stuff in that 30 days.
I bet.
And so my body was adjusting. So the urine was adjusting along with it.
What do you think you were healing?
Oh, I healed my asthma. My lungs repaired themselves.
Really?
Yeah. I had asthma. I've had asthma since I was a child.
Wow.
And it was chronic. I nearly died from it once. And literally, my lungs were the lungs of a 70-year-old. After my fire department medical, they told me that, and they were going to take me off the breathing apparatus. So 4 days into the fast, I had this urge to run. I was doing a walk and I had this urge to run.
I think you talked about that in one of your videos, didn't you?
Yes.
A video in a park somewhere in London or something, right?
Yeah.
In England, yeah.
So I was walking, I had this urge to run, and I ran for half a mile. And bear in mind, before that, it was like I
never ran before.
I could run for about 50 yards, and I'd have to take half an hour to to rest and recover from it.
Yeah.
But I ran for half a mile, and I got to the end. I was like, I can still breathe. What's going on?
How bizarre.
And my lungs had come back.
And how long had you been fasting on urine when you did the run?
This was only 4 days into the fast.
Dude, so what caused you to do that? I mean, it's one thing to do, a lot of people do intermittent fasting. Now, I do that every day. A lot of people do 1 day fast or 3 day fast, and they're doing green juice fasts. People do that. But what made you, fasting alone is something where it's like people look at you strange, right? But to do fasting on the urine, you didn't ease into this thing. It's kind of bizarre, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd been doing urine therapy for a year at that point.
Okay.
So I was seeing the benefits. I was feeling great. I had more energy and things were starting to get better. My hair started to grow back and things. It was quite amazing. And I listened to somebody talking about the urine fast, as something to heal yourself with.
Right.
Now I got the impression that this person had already done the urine fast himself, but it turns out he hadn't. And when I met him, he said, well done for doing the urine fast. I don't know anybody who's done it who wasn't dying.
Yeah.
So
what a crazy thing.
Yeah.
So you did it for 30 days, and did you drink other liquids? Like, what liquids did you drink?
Well, at the beginning, I was drinking, because I was still in the squeamish type phase, I was drinking like a mouthful of distilled water or orange juice because when you start the fast, your urine gets very strong.
Okay.
And cloudy and stuff.
Right.
So I was just kind of rinsing my mouth with some freshly squeezed orange juice or distilled water.
Okay.
But that only lasted for a week or so, and then I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't drinking anything other than urine.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. See, I do it every morning, but I do like a homeopathic kind of thing, like, because I'm still like, I don't know what it is. I just don't, I'm still not scared of it, but I just, I'll do like a teaspoon of it in the morning and I'll mix it with water and I'll just chase it down. And, and I've been doing that for a few years, but I've never thought to do a full fast. But I mean, I imagine that if your body is healing on a fast itself, then if you're going to be on urine, I can't imagine that your body would be just, the healing process would be multiplied, like incredible.
As I said, 4 days into the fast, I saw, I also had nerve damage in the side of my foot and pain up the back of my leg from an Achilles tendon operation.
Okay.
And this pain had been with me for 4 years. And then 4 days into the fast, the pain was gone, and the nerve damage along the side of my foot gone.
Wow,
unbelievable.
And you had that for years.
4 years.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
Back problems as well. They disappeared. My shoulder, which was kind of grinding, that sort of healed itself. And I said, my hair started to grow back, and all the lines on my face started to smooth over.
And how long ago did you do the fast, this 30-day fast?
Oh, this was back in 2012.
2012, so sometime. So have you done one since then, another one?
Not a urine fast, but I did a 60-day breatharian experiment.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too, because you talked about that on your YouTube channel. If you guys want to check out Dave's YouTube channel, it's D Murphy 25.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, cool. And your most recent videos are about urine therapy, and you have some talks. So you did a breatharian fast?
Well, yeah, it was an experiment because I'd been reading about breatharianism, and I still am completely a complete believer that the human body doesn't need food.
Yeah.
So I decided to do a little experiment. It was supposed to be for a year.
Did you say liquid or little?
Sorry?
Did you say liquid experiment or a little experiment?
Little.
A little, okay, yeah, okay. All right.
So, yeah, it was supposed to be for a year.
Okay.
So I actually planned or prepared my body for a year previous to the experiment by ramping down the amount of food I was eating and the density of the food. Okay. So I was kind of a vegetarian. Then I became a vegan for a few months, and then fruitarian for a few months, and then liquidarian for a few months, and then I started the breatharian experiment.
So what year was this?
Well, this was 2014.
2014. So 2 years after your 30-day urine fast. What was the catalyst? What made you want to do this?
Well, it was reading Hilton Hotema's book, Man's Higher Consciousness, and the ideas were kind of swirling around in my head, and I thought, well, I really want to see if what happens. I've been experimenting on myself for years, so I just want to see what this body can do. We don't know what this body can do, really.
So how were you able to do your work? Were you under any obligations? Did you have to go anywhere during either the 30-day urine fast or this breatharian experiment? Did you have to have obligations that you had to meet?
Yeah, well, the 30-day urine fast, I was actually working full time. I was doing programming and stuff.
Okay, so you're still in the matrix.
I was going to work, and what I was doing was I had an empty bottle of apple juice that I'd stick on my desk.
Oh, look at you!
And a cup, and I'd go to the loo.
Dude, that's genius.
Put it down on my desk, and nobody would touch it. Hopefully, nobody touched it.
Unless they came over and looked at it and smelled it. But it was, as far as they knew, it was just apple juice, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It doesn't smell. That's the thing. It doesn't smell.
The cleaner you are, right?
Yeah. Well, even if you're dirty, it doesn't really smell. You think it's going to smell like a toilet, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You have to get really close, and you'd smell you essentially. But you're right. As you get cleaner, it becomes more like water. Stuck it on my desk, and
so did you have any issues adjusting and talking about the 30-day urine fast? Did you have any issues? I mean, people can miss a meal, or their blood sugar goes crazy and you start craving food and you turn into a monster. Most people. Did you have any issues with that?
No, because what you find is that the first 3 days or so, 3 or 4 days on your fast, you still got the habit of eating. I found myself going to the fridge, just
looking,
just without thinking. I'd be at the fridge and I'd be like, oh, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But and yes, you do get the sort of craving feelings, but you know what? After about 3 or 4 days, they disappear. And it's true, appetite comes from eating.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start eating again, your appetite comes back.
Interesting. Did you notice any difference in your bowel movements? Anything? Your elimination?
Yeah. Well, they dropped off completely almost at one point. I wasn't going to the loo.
Wow. Now is that? Typically constipation, or they would say you're not going to the bathroom. That's not a good thing. But in this case, was this a good thing? Do you think?
It was a good thing because, and also now and after these fasts, what I find is that if I eat anything within 4 hours or so, it's coming out of me. 4 or 5 hours, it's coming out again.
Really, even after this, 4 years after the fast? Yeah. So you almost essentially reset a lot of your organs, maybe.
This is what I'm saying about this. It's putting you back to factory settings almost.
That is so fascinating.
I tell people if they want to check with themselves, if they eat a spicy meal and see how long it takes for it to come out hot, should we say?
Yeah.
And usually they find it comes out in a few days.
Yeah, I've heard that too. A lot of people that listen to our show, they'll say the same thing. They might go to the bathroom twice a week.
Yeah.
It's kind of common. Or
even if they're going to the bathroom kind of regularly, what they're eliminating is something that they ate a few days ago.
So transit time's big, right?
Yeah.
For health. People can find that out too. There's all kinds of different tests that people can do, swallowing these pills with cameras in them. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
And eating beets, people can find out that way. So the thing that's fascinating to me about urine therapy and breatharianism, although I'm not drawn to breatharianism really, but I find it fascinating, is that with both of those ways of looking at things, there's always a spiritual component. If you look at any spiritual leader throughout history, they've all fasted. And so there's an interesting connection between the food we eat or don't eat and our level of awareness and our level of consciousness. There seems to be some kind of connection.
I kind of disagree because the point of my experiments was basically to discover whether you do need to be spiritual. I was doing it as a normal person, having to do stuff every day, and not having to sit on a mountaintop cross-legged for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
I was just being a normal person. So I discovered that you don't need to be particularly spiritual, but what happens is your awareness, your intuition is enhanced. And one of the things that I got as soon as I was doing this breatharian experiment, let's back up a second. One of the things that happened was that I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and for 4 hours I'd lie there and have amazing insights and connections and intuitions.
During this fast?
During the fast. During the first 10 days of the fast, because I was not drinking water either.
Okay, just your urine?
No, the breatharian experiment, I wasn't doing anything.
Oh, you weren't eating or drinking.
Right, but unfortunately I'd prepared for a whole year not to eat, but I hadn't prepared not to drink.
Yeah.
So for the first 10 days, I was taking nothing. And then 10 days into it, I got dehydrated.
Okay.
But for those first 10 days, my intuition went through the roof.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that that you need to be spiritual to do it, but that it enhances.
Right.
And there could be a motivation to do it because of the spiritual openness that happens as a result. So that's crazy. So in the first 10 days, you had these openings. And
then when I started drinking the water, I noticed this intuition started to drop off slightly.
Really?
So, and one of the things that came to me during my creative time was the idea that your stomach is actually a brain. It's got brain cells. So when you stress it with eating and digestion, it can't do its regular work.
Do you mean the stomach or the digestive tract?
I think it's the stomach itself.
The stomach itself
is a brain. It's got brain cells in there, and
wow.
And you know it can't think because we keep putting food down there.
Yeah, so that would make sense, that if you're removing these obstructions, then you're allowing the stomach to be able to...
And you get your gut instinct.
Well, yeah, well, that's true. And the gut-brain connection becomes re-solidified probably because you have this connection now that's able to communicate one to another. Mm-hmm. So now you're able to have a full body connection. And so instead of having a mental intuition of saying, I don't like this or that, but now you have your gut and now it's all connected and talking to one another. So that makes sense.
Yes, because I think the focus of this society, which is intentional, is to keep us in here, mm-hmm. in the left-hand side of our brain, mm-hmm. And that's not where we're supposed to be, mm-hmm. as humans.
Right.
Yeah, we're feeling intuitive creatures,
and we almost look for ways to turn that off, don't we?
Well,
we look for ways to desensitize and to stay busy and distracted and to be disconnected.
Society has many ways to keep us keep us in the left-hand side of our heads. Yeah.
Yeah, many enticing ways, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, in terms of your friends and family, let's just talk about the urine fast. Did they think you're crazy, or do you run in a lot of circles where they understand this?
Well, actually, my mother, I kind of broached the subject with her and told her what I was doing, and she said, "Oh yeah, my dad used to make us do it when I was a child." I was like, "What? You didn't tell me that."
Your mom's dad used to make them do it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And but her dad never told her why they were doing it.
Oh, just
so as soon as they got away from him, they stopped doing it.
Yeah. Why would you continue? Yeah.
So she wasn't that shocked.
Wow.
And one of my sisters, I basically convinced her to try putting it on her skin, just to keep her skin smooth. And she came back to me after a month and said, "I've had this skin complaint for the last couple of years. It's been getting worse and worse, and now it's gone." And she was like amazed. Wow. And so she started drinking as well. And then my mum was watching and seeing what was happening, and she said, "Well, I'm going to give it a try as well."
Wow.
And my mum, she was in a wheelchair for 10 years, and she was riddled with arthritis.
Wow.
She had high blood pressure. She had digestive problems, back problems for 50 years. A whole list of things, a whole tabletop full of drugs.
Oh my gosh.
After 2 years on urine therapy, clear of all her drugs, she's got nothing wrong with her. She's out of a wheelchair. She looks 20 years younger.
Did she change her diet at all?
She changed her diet. She started urine therapy, and she was on distilled water.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yep.
So, wow, what a crazy thing. So you have one sister, and do you have another brothers?
2 sisters and a brother.
2 sisters and a brother. So one sister did it. What about the other sister and the brother?
The other sister is like,
nah, nah, I don't want to do it.
My brother doesn't really, sort of go into that.
Is your brother at all? Is he into any of the same kind of stuff you're into?
Not really.
No. Yeah. Older? Is he younger?
He's younger. He likes it in the Matrix.
Yeah. It's a nice place if you want to stay there.
Yeah.
So, what about your dad? Did he do any of these? Did he follow any?
Yeah, no, I haven't really spoken much to my dad.
Okay.
Not sort of. I've just got in touch with him, but over the last few years, I haven't really had anything much to do with it.
So you're an influence on one of your sisters and your mom. I mean, that's pretty
absolutely.
awesome.
My mum's an advocate of it now, and on the forums and stuff. She's out there saying, yeah, do this. She's an expert.
She's helping people. That's awesome. And so, in terms of when you do it and how much, like I said, and I do a little bit, like a teaspoon in the morning. I just mix it with water. I just have never had. But so when do you do it? Do you wake up and drink? I mean, a lot of people say to don't drink your first morning because it contains the toxins. What do you think?
A lot of people who don't actually know what they're talking about.
A lot, yeah.
The first one is the most important one.
That's what I think, because before I go to bed at night, I take some minerals, liquid minerals, and things like that, and so I would think that this would be a way to reintroduce the excess of what you pee out back in, right?
Well,
is that part of it?
When you're asleep, your body, while you're resting, all your glands and stuff are working overtime, with this extra energy that's available to produce all the things that it needs.
Okay.
And the glands and stuff are like factories. They don't know, they're not like precise. They just switch on and produce, and then when there's no more energy available, they switch off.
Okay.
So your first morning urine is like the most densely packed of all the good stuff.
So even though it's most likely for most people yellow and more pungent and has a greater smell, it's more important to drink that.
It's the best one to drink. It can never harm you. It's not got toxins in it. It's not got anything bad in it. Because what happens is your blood goes to your liver. Your liver screens out all the toxins, everything that shouldn't be in the blood, purifies it. The purified blood goes to the kidneys.
Okay.
And the kidneys are there to keep the blood in balance. So, if you've got too much water in your blood, well, your blood's watery. It can't do its job.
Right.
So the excess water gets taken out, the excess vitamins, minerals, hormones, enzymes, all the good things in your blood. If there's too much, it's just as bad as having not enough.
Okay.
So all the excess gets shunted away to your bladder. And while it's in your bladder, right, your body realizes that sometimes it needs some of that stuff. So it will reabsorb why do you have a bladder? If it's waste, why would you have a storage facility for the waste?
Right.
It's there to store it for if you need it, because you need stuff on a moment-to-moment basis.
Okay.
Yeah. So you might have had the experience where you've been dying to go to the toilet, and then you get distracted, and an hour later you're like, oh, I don't need to go anymore. Because while it's been sitting in your bladder, your body's reabsorbed some of it and taken the pressure off the bladder, and you don't need that. You don't have that urge to go anymore.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, a lot of people say that we're all have practiced urine therapy in the womb.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
the same kind of thing, right?
It
We've all
formed your
done it.
skin, and it formed your lungs.
So when you wake up in the morning, do you drink 100% of what you?
Not 100%. If I wee out a half a pint, say, I'll drink most of it and use the rest of it to wash with.
Interesting. Yeah, there was a guy we talked to in Australia a couple of years ago, and he was doing a documentary on urine therapy. And
Stephen...
Williams, I think.
Stephen Williams, yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I was part of his documentary.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, when we talked to him, I think he was just beginning the process of creating that documentary. Do you know if it's out?
It's not out, but he's released parts of it. I've got a bit of one
on your channel.
On my channel, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he was saying, man, I mean, he puts it in his fridge and he ages it, and
yep.
So what is that doing, do you think?
Well, you're not really supposed to put it in your fridge, but yeah.
He takes baths with it.
Yeah. Aged urine is very, very powerful on the skin.
Okay.
So if you cut yourself, if you get inflammation, burn, whatever it is, you put aged urine, or even fresh will do, but aged is better, on it, and it will heal without a scar.
Wow.
Usually in about 3 days.
That is interesting.
There was a friend of mine who didn't believe me and doesn't believe me about urine. And we were at a festival. And he was sitting around a fire pit with some friends, and I was somewhere else in the field. And somebody knocked the fire pit over his legs, and he got serious burns on his leg.
Oh wow!
And there was a nurse with him, and she slathered his leg with aloe vera, but he was screaming in pain, and this wasn't really helping him.
Yeah. So
they called me. And I basically weed in a glass and started pouring it over his leg, and while they were preparing a bandage for him, and after as soon as the wee hit his burn,
fresh
he
burns,
was like,
right?
Yeah, and I said, just hold on, and within a few seconds, he was like, oh, it stopped hurting. So
wow.
I carried on pouring on, and he said he was looking down at it and he could touch it.
Oh my gosh.
And then they got the bandage ready, and I poured the rest in, on the bandage, and we wrapped his leg. The next day he was walking around on it. And
that was a burn so bad that it shouldn't have been that way the next day.
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
And he was so impressed that he started putting his progress on Facebook.
Really?
and it was going really well until somebody convinced him to use some product. I think it was called Dragon's Blood or something. And they said, "Yeah, use this. It will heal it up really quick." But it just made it worse and opened it up and everything.
Oh,
He went
man.
back on the urine, and it healed up perfectly.
Wow. So
Now he's a convert.
yeah.
And I think it's because he's got some allegedly Dave DNA in his
It's been infused into his leg. Wow, what a crazy thing. So how often do you do it now? You drink most of it every day, or
every day, at least once or twice a day.
So how many ounces do you think, like how many ounces is that?
Oh,
That's a water bottle.
A water bottle. I think I drink about 3/4 of a pint to a pint
Okay.
a day.
A day still.
Yeah.
And guys, talk about an amazing way to heal the body. I mean, you know what's interesting? On our website, the most popular page on our website is a urine therapy article I wrote.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and it's amazing because it's like I wrote that article I think in 2012 or something, and it's every single day you look at the stats and it's the most popular. And I just link off to some books, I link off to some documentaries and videos about it. I describe it a little bit and how animals do it in nature, and it's just crazy. It's what a crazy thing.
Right. Well, I wrote a book about it as well, called the Human Body Owners Workshop Manual.
Yeah, I saw that you have. I was going to ask you about that. I saw you have some videos on your channel about that, right?
Yeah.
And now, is that based on your book?
Yes. The one called the Human Body Workshop is essentially just me explaining the theory and the modus operandi of this way of looking at how the body works.
Oh, wow.
Because once I started seeing what urine therapy was doing for me, it started to dawn on me how it was working and what was actually going on with the body. And it's so simple, it's unbelievable. You know, it's the way to heal the body is essentially get out of its way and let it do its stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
And just help it along with what it's trying to do, because everything we do in the medical system is against what the body's trying to do.
The body's trying to heal, but we're giving it, not only are we just giving it food and things like that, but we're giving it chemicals. So now it's got to deal with all the chemicals.
Yeah, and we do the wrong thing, absolute wrong thing at the wrong time.
Now, this is what's crazy about that, is that I often say on the show that like that is a catalyst to greater things, because if what's going on is if we can heal ourselves, if we can literally heal our own selves, that changes everything. That changes everything around the world.
That's what I said in my book.
You know,
we figure out how to heal ourselves, and we end up healing the world around us.
And we don't need doctors.
Don't need doctors.
Don't need doctors.
We literally do not need doctors.
Don't need. I mean, they're great for surgeries. You break your leg, but
that's even that. It's not hard to set a splint.
Right.
All you do is immobilize it. If you break an arm, you immobilize it. You put a wee soaked rag on it and keep it warm and let it heal, and that's it. The allopathic method just does not work. It's dealing with symptoms does not work.
And they're trying to apply that same method of healing like a broken bone, which is an acute injury. They're trying to apply that model to long-term disease, which is completely the opposite of how the body works, because you can't heal long-term disease, cancer, diabetes, these types of things, using that acute kind of model. It just doesn't work.
It was actually intentionally designed that way, because allopathic medicine was always about dealing with symptoms, and the symptoms would be allopathic medicine was about healing bones and trauma.
Right.
Okay, so if a bus knocks you down, and you're cut open, bleeding and stuff, well, you deal with the symptoms, which are the cuts and the broken bones.
Right.
The cause is external. It's the bus. You don't have to worry about the bus.
Right.
But as you say, they've applied that methodology to everything else in the human body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't deal with the cause, just the symptom, and it doesn't work.
So how long did you do, going back to the breatharianism, how long did you do that experiment?
For 60 days.
60 days. That's crazy. There's a blogger that I follow. His name is Steve Pavlina. He's kind of like a success, kind of a personal development kind of blogger. And he recently did a 30-day fast on just water, and he documented every day. And he felt so good after 30 days that he went for another 10 days. But man, that's incredible. So you did 60.
I would have gone longer than 60 days. It was the social reasons that I stopped.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In the middle of my experiment, I met somebody, and she was a raw vegan, and she wanted to do the same experiment. So I dropped back to raw veganism.
To catch,
so she can catch up with me.
I see.
And then it just it didn't work out. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So you did 60 days on no food, and how long did you go with no water?
The first 10 days.
First 10 days, and then after it was just water.
Just distilled water, yeah.
Distilled water. And gosh, there's so much to talk about. I could ask you all about, I think it's Andrew Lloyd Webber that does the distilled water.
That's Andrew Norton Webber. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Wrote Cats.
I was thinking Andrew, I got the Webber, 3 names.
Well, it's Andrew Norton Webber who
That's right.
talked about the 30-day urine fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
And I assumed that he'd done it, but he hadn't done it.
Yeah,
so.
that's what you talked before. Wow. Okay, I think we should wrap this up. So if people want to get in contact with you, your website is allegedlydave.com, right?
Allegedlydave.com, yeah.
Okay, and your YouTube channel is Dave Murphy?
D Murphy 25.
D Murphy 25. Okay, and they can find you out more there. And do you work with people like over Skype, or like do they want to contact you? How do they do that?
The thing is, if anybody wants to contact me, I'm at dave@allegedlydave.com.
Okay.
And if anyone's suffering with anything, just get them to contact me.
Okay.
And what I'll usually do is I get them to describe their symptoms, what they're taking, a few other details, and then usually I write them a plan, a 4 to 6 month plan to follow.
Okay. Wow, interesting. Wow. Okay, awesome. Dave, thanks for joining us today, all the way from England.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate it.